Disturbing Facts That Will Ruin Your Day, Part 6. There are only 2 days that do not last 24 hours, the one of your birth and the one of your death. Pacu is a South American freshwater fish known for its squarer, straighter teeth, that eerily resemble those of humans. This is how a toothbrush looks like under a microscope after the first use. Google hires camels for the desert street view.
This is London's Death Train. This abandoned building used to be the London Necropolis Railway. London became severely overcrowded in the early 1800s, and the city's graveyards were at full capacity. The decaying corpses even began to seep from the soil into the drinking water. So a plan was devised to build the London Necropolis, which is the largest cemetery in the UK, about 30 miles away in the Surrey countryside. In order to get the dead from London to Surrey, they had to build this bizarre corpse train to transport them and their grieving families. The London Necropolis Railway was born. They also have the worst logo. You can actually still see here where the train tracks used to be and how they would have converged with the rest of the trains from Waterloo Station. The station was partially destroyed by a German bomb in World War II, and it never reopened. The building is now being converted into flats, and I cannot imagine sleeping in this completely haunted death station.
Serious, what's the creepiest, scariest thing you've seen but no one believes you? When I was 7 or 8, I would have a recurring nightmare that one of my dolls came to life, played with me, and then would try to pull me into my closet with her. I'd follow her into the closet at first, but then she'd show me this little door at the back of the closet, and my heart would start to race. I don't know what it was about that door, but I knew something bad would happen if I went through it. I'd start to struggle and try to pull away, but the doll was too strong and would start pulling me through the door. At this point in the dream, I'd always wake up screaming. The worst part was I had night terrors, so sometimes I'd wake up standing next to my closet. Every night before bed, I'd make my parents make sure there wasn't a little door at the back of my closet. There never was. Anyway, I was talking to my mom the other day and this dream came up. I'm laughing about it and how ridiculously paranoid I was about dolls in that closet, but my mom gets really quiet. She tells me the creepy part of that dream wasn't the doll, it was the fact that there used to be a little door at the back of the closet. But when I was 1 year old, they remodeled the house and put a wall where the door used to be. There's no way I could have remembered that door, but years later, I kept dreaming about it.
Here are some very creepy true stories that happened at Walmart. The first one is called The Lady in the Bee Costume. This is about an 18-year-old girl who worked the night shift at Walmart. And for some reason, precisely at 1:30 in the morning, like on the dot, she would get what she called the Bumblebee as a visitor. The Bumblebee was an old woman wearing a bee Halloween costume. She had a stinger, wings, and everything. And she was never outrageous with her behavior. She would never purchase anything. anything. She was just a bee, and this employee never asked why, but always 1:30 in the morning. Next, we have a story about a magic 8-ball. This is about a little kid that was walking through a Walmart with his mom when he snuck a magic 8-ball into the cart because he always wanted one. Well, the mother didn't notice until they got to the cash register, and when she saw it, she got a little bit freaked out. She told her son that this toy was extremely evil, and he should not even be near it, let alone take it home. Well, the kid started crying because he wanted it so bad, and then he said, "But I want to talk to the tall, dark man in the house." So yeah, that would freak me out. By the way, a lot of people use magic 8-balls to like talk to ghosts. Like they'll ask the ghost a question, they'll shake up the magic 8-ball to get their answer. Then we have a story called The Whistle Man. The night before Christmas Eve, Walmart was closing a bit earlier in the night due to the holidays. There was a worker who was in charge of locking up, and he decided to do one last walk around the store to make sure that everyone had left. It seemed totally empty until he approached the toy section. He began hearing whistling, and at first he thought that maybe it was one of the toys that had gone off because it sensed him passing. But as he walked closer, he noticed this man standing at the very end of the aisle, and he was looking down at the ground as he walked, and the strangest thing is that he was whistling. He politely told the man that it was closing time and it was time for him to leave, but the man ignored him and kept whistling and walking down the aisles. The employee felt unsettled because he couldn't see the man's face, so after about 5 minutes of trying to get the man to leave, he had to go and get back up because the situation was just so sketchy. Well, when he brought 2 employees back with him to that exact aisle where he saw the man was gone, and they couldn't even find evidence of him on the security tape. So yeah, that's creepy. If you want me to do a part 2 of creepy Walmart stories, definitely comment down below.
What is Bloody Mary's history? The original Bloody Mary dates to 16th century England, when Mary Tudor became the first Queen of England in her own right, Catholic herself. She took over rule of the mostly Protestant country in 1553. Why do they call her Bloody Mary? Many believe the red snapper